Hello, ladies and gents, boys and girls, people of all ages, sexualities, and identities. Welcome back to another Doctor Who review. And today we enter the third Doctor's era properly, with SpearHead from space. So sit back, get ready with your anti-plastic, because it's time for the Autons. Yes, the third Doctor has landed on Earth after newly regenerating from the second, and he finds himself in the 70s. As he falls into the foliage of the forest and is discovered, he is immediately taken to hospital. He is then under the armed guard of UNIT, run by the Brigadier. Now, the Brigadier realizes that there are some similarities to the Doctor that he knew. First of all, the exposed hearts. Second of all, the patient was found outside of a police box. Now, the Brig can't be for certain that this is the same man, but of course, knowing that he is an alien, he begins to keep an open mind. Meanwhile, elsewhere, the Brig is occupied by the fact that meteorites keep landing in a forest, very close to where the TARDIS was found. These meteorites seem to be randomly hitting different locations, and each time they go missing, a person goes missing. Soon, whilst UNIT is on the case, they find themselves in a crossfire between the Autons. Turns out that the Auton host have been taking these meteorites so that they can reproduce their original forms. For the meantime, however, they resemble shop window dummies. This is all on the basis for their large-scale invasion. The Doctor eventually, once he's woken up and manages to get up and about, begins to evade UNIT after looking into the investigation. However, he is accidentally shot by a UNIT soldier. Luckily for him, it's in the early process of his regeneration, meaning that he can survive the bullet wound for long enough. This leaves the Doctor comatose once again, at least until he's ready to get up and raring. Eventually, the Doctor manages to escape the hospital once again, nicking some guy's car. The Doctor really likes the car that he has taken from the hospital, and eventually ends up getting his own very much alike it, but not in this story. Meanwhile, as the Doctor goes investigating with the help of UNIT, he finds that the cause of the problem all goes back to a doll factory. It turns out that the doll factory is being used as a base of operations for the Autons. This is all due to the fact that the dolls are made completely of plastic. The Doctor eventually confronts a man who seems to be acting very oddly. It turns out that this man is the foot soldier for the Autons and essentially has been working alongside them to help them unleash their invasion. The Doctor does everything in his power to stop it by using a sonic pulse that seems to render the Autons inoperable. However, meanwhile elsewhere, the Autons begin to wake up in the shop windows, breaking out and beginning a full-scale invasion. Luckily for them though, however, when the pulse goes out, it doesn't only affect the Autons in the factory, but also affects all the ones that have escaped the shop windows. However, there are a few casualties in this story. For one, the farmer who finds the meteorite in the first place, and his wife. The Brigadier regrets this loss, but after all, they look back on the circumstances and realise that the farmer really should have told them about the meteorite. However, the farmer who gets killed is also in trouble for another reason. He begins to poach on someone else's land. So, Doctor Who, SpearHead from space. What did I think of this episode? Well, honestly, I love it. It's a great introduction for Jon Pertwee. It was my first introduction for Jon Pertwee, and I remember watching it and being like, this guy is the Doctor. I love that his wiggly eyebrow joke has been passed over into Peter Capaldi's era, and I also love how his fashion style is so eccentric. He gives you that kind of flamboyant vibe, but with a kind of twist of James Bond. I also love this episode because it's the first introduction of the beautiful and amazing Liz Shaw. Liz gives the Doctor a run for his money, and most importantly, she doesn't let the Brigadier boss her about. I feel like this is the greatest trait she has as a companion, is the fact that she comes along, works for UNIT, but doesn't necessarily let them keep pushing her around. And for that reason, I give this story a solid 10 out of 10. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next Doctor Who review. Until then, goodbye, stay beautiful, and have an incredible night.